I am going to present some poetry that I wrote. Each of the poems will cover all of the areas that we have learned thus far in the program. So I will be going over public health and development, sustainable agriculture and our world, education, and a personal poem. But before I begin, I just kind of wanted to go over the challenges that was faced and kind of the writing process. So originally I had a different POL, and it was a personal essay about meeting new people and relationships, but I was kind of losing steam with that idea, and I wasn't really getting a lot of ideas from it. So one night I was kind of just thinking about the environment and sustainable agriculture because that's something I'm pretty passionate about. And I decided to kind of flow with those ideas and see what would happen. So I ended up kind of putting the personal essay aside, and I wrote my first poem, which is kind of weird for me because I'm not a very emotional person, and I feel like poetry has so much emotion. And yeah, I also didn't really study it too often in school. So it was pretty new, and that's pretty much about it. So I'll just get started with the poems. All right. I am at the peak and still climbing. That is wrong. The truth is, I have feelings of doubt. Never will I say I am confident in my abilities. From now on, I will never be able to grow. Giving up on myself, I realized that is something I do so often. Being bold, brave, and limitless is something I can never do. Impounding my thoughts around self-doubt will carry on. I know I'm not perfect, and still I abandon myself. No longer will I be satisfied with my choices. I know I'll be ashamed of my talents. On no account will I indulge in my own worth and radiate from my soul. Every day, I second guess my actions. Never will I deserve more. I'm fully aware that I have flaws. It's okay for me to realize I suppress my own voice. Under no circumstances will I express my ideas. Constantly, I search for validation. Never will I become happier. Slowly, I can purge these negative thoughts out of my mind and focus on the positive. I must be brave with my life, and I can't be happier unless I turn things around. We are at the peak of sustainable agriculture. The truth is, food is slowly wasting away. Never do we say our plants and animals are in good hands. That is corrupt. Indulging while others suffer, we do so often. Respecting and nurturing our world is laughable. Thinking that large corporations are superior is the way to go. Protecting our soil, our earth is not worthy. I'm fed up with saying our land is precious. I want more because we are greedy. Living only for our own happiness and privilege, it's so easy. Truly believing we can do better is a waste. Tarnishing our land with chemicals makes more money. Actually, growing organic food is pointless. Unhealthy food is only the beginning. Permaculture, that is wrong. Compromising human health is how we handle our problems. Being caring, loving, and considerate, we will never do that again. Destroying our land is easy. Supporting small local organic farms, that's a hoax. Our food is toxic, riddled with sugar and chemicals. Will we change? We are aware of these problems, and still the vicious cycle continues. People are the problem and the solution. Nothing will change unless we turn things around. We are at the peak of education. Not anymore. The truth is, our teachers don't get paid enough money. I see fellow students with loans and debt. Scared for the future, I'm terrified to witness these atrocities. What will our generation's education look like? Then I begin to think, this will never change. I go to school optimistic for the future, is dishonest. I'm beginning to feel discouraged about my abilities, is sincere. I'm excited to go to class and develop skills, not anymore. I'm pressured to be perfect and get into a good school, is how I feel. inspired and empowered no more. Racism and classism littering our institutions will continue to persist. Teachers passionate and devoted to the substance of their curriculum disappear. Bullies terrorizing classrooms remain. Discovery, empowerment, and culture will vanish. Grueling high-stakes testing is the only way to succeed. Devotion and passion are gone. Fast food snacks polluting our schools' cafeterias contaminates our minds. Not believing there's a better way can be done. Questioning the current system is wrong. Teachers practicing supremacy over their students is tradition. Access to education isn't for everybody. Learning for the sake of financial gains should be explored more. Alternative styles of learning is a waste. Forgetting about students with disabilities happens so often. Academic success is a sham. Acquiring debt dominates. Demanding a better education is what we should be doing. Requiring education as a basic civil right, this needs to be understood. Our generation can't change unless we turn things around. We are at the peak of public health and development. That is wrong. The truth is, we demand other cultures to live our way. Never will we say we can learn a lot from them. I truly believe they absolutely need our help. There is no way they have reliable maternal clinics. It's true, they need a savior. Never will they understand their own problems. Trust me, they will be dependent on us. There is no way the doctors and nurses properly administer vaccinations. Certainly, we help a lot. In no way do we make a lot of money on this. Believe it or not, we are wrong to assume their wants and needs. These beliefs are incorrect, and I really want to inform everyone. We will never be able to change the mindsets of people unless we turn things around. So that is none of my poems, and I know that they're really depressing, but bear with me. So throughout the whole TBB experience, I learned a lot about each of these topics: public health, development, sustainable agriculture, and education, including myself. For me personally, I came into this program with the idea that for the most part, everything is pretty close to the peak. But during seminars and work sites, all the corruption and negativity involved in each area became very apparent. Because of this discovery, I think a lot of the students, including myself, came to the conclusion that there is no hope. And although we could help, it probably wouldn't have a large impact, nor will it change things that much. Also, I had somewhat of a mental crisis at this time. I realized everything is going to crash at one point in the future, and nothing is sustainable. These are very radical and negative ideas, but they're things that genuinely come up everywhere, whether it was group discussions, personal journaling, or just talking with another person. I also think that these poems really illustrate my journey of discovery. I start off with a naive and innocent thought that we are at the peak of something. Then I slowly begin naming all of the negative aspects involved until eventually it creates an overarching list of wrongdoings. There are many things that have come into my beliefs and many thoughts and ideas that have been solidified throughout my travels. Before TBB, I was fully aware that these negatives do exist, but I never really experienced the immense feeling of being completely rock bottom with no hope for the future of humanity. I truly believe these feelings will continue to occupy my mind unless we turn things around. Although very depressing and somber, this mental crisis was the rise and catalyst for other ideas and thoughts. It's really made me think about multiple viewpoints and how, if we are creative enough, we can produce a different world outlook and maybe see something positive that we didn't know was already there. I read these poems from top to bottom, and now I will read them from bottom to top. Unless we turn things around, we will never be able to change the mindsets of people. I really want to inform everyone, these popular beliefs are incorrect, and we are wrong to assume their wants and needs. Believe it or not, we make a lot of money on this. In no way do we help a lot. Certainly, the doctors and nurses properly administer vaccinations. There is no way they will be dependent on us. Trust me, they understand their own problems. Never will, they need a savior. It's true, they have reliable maternal clinics. There is no way they will absolutely need our help. I truly believe we can learn a lot from them. Never will we say we demand other cultures to live our way. That is wrong. The truth is, we are at the peak of public health and development. Unless we turn things around, our generation can't understand. These need to be understood. Requiring education as a basic civil right is what we should be doing. Demanding a better education dominates. Acquiring debt is a sham. Academic success happens so often. Forgetting about students with disabilities is a waste. Alternative styles of learning should be explored more. Learning for the sake of financial gains isn't for everybody. Access to education is tradition. Teachers practicing supremacy over their students is wrong. Questioning the current system can be done. Not believing there is a better way contaminates our minds. Looting our schools' cafeterias are gone. Devotion and passion is the only way to succeed. Grueling high-stakes testing will vanish. Discovery, empowerment, and culture remain. Bullies terrorizing classrooms disappear. Teachers passionate and devoted to the substance of their curriculum will continue to persist. Racism and classism littering our institutions no more. Inspired and empowered is how I feel. I'm pressured to be perfect and get into a good school. Not anymore. I'm excited to go to class and develop skills is sincere. I'm beginning to feel discouraged about my abilities is dishonest. I go to school optimistic for the future. This will never change. Then I begin to think, what will our generation's education look like? These atrocities I'm terrified to witness. Scared for the future, I see fellow students with loans and debt. Our teachers don't get paid enough money. Not anymore. The truth is, we are at the peak of education. Unless we turn things around, nothing will change. People are the problem and the solution, and still the vicious cycle continues. We are aware of these problems. Will we change? Riddled with sugar and chemicals, our food is toxic. That's a hoax. Supporting small local organic farms is easy. Destroying our land, we will never do that again. Being caring, loving, and considerate is how we handle our problems. Well, that is wrong. Permaculture is only the beginning. Unhealthy food is pointless. Actually, growing organic food makes more money. Tarnishing our land with chemicals is a waste. Truly believing we can do better, it's so easy. Living only for our own happiness and privilege, we are greedy. I want more because our land is precious. I'm fed up with saying our earth is not worthy. Protecting our soil is the way to go. Thinking that large corporations are superior is laughable. Respecting and nurturing our world, we do so often. Indulging while others suffer, that is corrupt. Our plants and animals are in good hands. Never do we say food is slowly wasting away. The truth is, we are at the peak of sustainable agriculture. Unless I turn things around, I can't be happier. I must be brave with my life and purge these negative thoughts out of my mind and focus on the positive. Slowly, I can become happier. Never will I search for validation. Constantly, I express my ideas. Under no circumstances will I suppress my own voice. It's okay for me to realize I have flaws. I'm fully aware that I deserve more. Never will I second guess my actions. Every day, I indulge in my own worth and radiate from my soul. On no account will I be ashamed of my talents. I know I will be satisfied with my choices. No longer will I abandon myself. I know I'm not perfect, and still I will carry on. Impounding my thoughts around self-doubt is something I can never do. Being bold, brave, and limitless is something I do so often. giving up on myself, I will never be able to grow. From now on, I am confident in my abilities. Never will I say I have feelings of doubt. That is wrong. The truth is, I am at the peak and still climbing. So in conclusion, throughout this trip, we got to read and examine different viewpoints from multiple authors. From that, I was able to extract information and form my own opinions on each topic. The point of these poems is to document both of my opinions. I believe that there is a lot humans need to work on and change, and I do tend to dwell on the negatives at times. However, I also think we're able to achieve much more, and we should strive for a utopia of sorts, because our Earth deserves it. My favorite part of these poems is the surprise factor and reading the secret messages backwards. I think this really captivates my feelings, thoughts, and this trip in general. At times, I really did feel like I was at the peak, but there were also moments when I felt like I was rock bottom. My thoughts also followed the same format as I struggled with ups and downs, the positive and negative aspects of development in our current systems. I truly believe if we are creative and persistent, we can develop a new world. This trip, of course, was a roller coaster, but also what I would consider a ladder. Each step in the poem symbolizing something that I learned, either being directed to the bottom or escalating to the peak. At this point, I believe humanity is at the reverse part of the poem, or the bottom. I think a lot of us are aware of these problems, know we need to change, and try to get others to follow suit. However, there are a lot of incorrect popular beliefs that need to be retaught and questioned, which definitely delays the process of rising to the peak. Furthermore, I don't think we know how to go about development, and there is no one perfect solution to model after. However, like my poems illustrate, I'd rather end and leave TBB on a high note than being bitter about all of the world's problems. Some questions I still have would be, how can I be a better agent of change? And how can I focus on the positives more? I enjoyed this linguistic, artistic, and mental challenge, as well as exploring vulnerable areas within myself. I think this project really wrapped up my trip quite nicely and poetically, as well as visually explains my thoughts. Hope you enjoyed.
Thank you, Raquel. We have a few minutes for some questions if anyone wants to ask Raquel about her presentation.
Yeah, I also have all of the poems individually that if you want them, you can have them. So, yeah. Any questions?
What was it like to create a poem for the first time? You said that was something you haven't really done before.
It was really great. It was very hard because I did have this certain format in my mind that I kind of wanted to achieve. So writing a poem for the first time was difficult, and then even trying to create this was, I didn't even know it would be possible to do. So it felt good, but a little intimidating at times.
In the future, how are you going to balance these two very opposite sides in your life going forward?
I don't really know. Maybe writing more poetry. I think just kind of being aware of the reality of a situation, but also just taking steps to make things better than just kind of reverting back to old ways. Yes.
When you first wrote the poem, was it your idea to have a poem that could read backwards as well as forwards, or did that come as a surprise to you?
A little bit of both. I kind of knew that at first I kind of wanted two separate poems, like a negative and a positive. But then I kind of thought, what if I could make it all in one and kind of really show the roller coaster in each poem? So
That was a great shot, Pat.
Yeah,
thank you.
very clever.
Thank you.
First off, that was awesome. Secondly, how do you get yourself, like, get stuck in negative mindsets, sucks and depressing? How do you like change that into you like hope for the future?
Probably a lot of the readings we did, there were two viewpoints a lot of the time, and kind of just focusing on the positive and, I don't know, maybe having group discussions about what we can do and the steps we can take to better develop in those areas.
That was brilliant. What I really, and even for myself, got out of that. I don't think there's necessarily a right answer, but each has its place. Like the rock bottom is what you sometimes need to catalyst yourself to move forward. And I think I love that about your home.
Thank you.
I think on that, what I took was that you can look at a situation from either the positive or the negative. So I thought that was really cool. You kind of reframe things, however, what your mindset is at the time. You reframe it to positive or negative, and it's a good skill to be able to look at positive situations. That was really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, just building on that, there's a great line, I can't remember who said it, but it's when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Mhm.
And that's sort of what your poem really illustrates to me. And maybe it's a piece of how to get out of that rock bottom, is just to remind yourself you can always sort of add different perspectives and look at it, try to look at it.
Yeah, that was something I was kind of having trouble with, but I knew if we looked at things in a different way, there definitely is positivity if we like really look at it.
Well, sort of building on that theme, I think your analogy of the roller coaster and the ladder is something that I'm going to be able to take away. And when I'm on the roller coaster, I think of the ladder as very. But my question is, do you think that this is going to make you, this experience is going to make you a political activist also? Do you see that in your future?
I don't know. I also didn't think I was a poet, so that could be a possibility. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
Oh,
you.
I just wanted to say that poetry, writing poetry, like any art form, is a muscle. And the more you exercise it, the more you bring it out into the world. So I would really encourage you to work out.
Thank you.
I'm very impressed, so.
Thanks, Mom.
But I think the poem, I think, can definitely, you'll be able to apply this throughout the rest of your life, though, because life is a roller coaster.
Yeah, I'm
So,
excited to go back and read these, like a couple years down the road,
Yeah.
and kind of see how my thoughts have changed, maybe.
Wonderful.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Raquel.
I guess we'll just put the poems on the back counter and people